All I really wanted to talk about today was like tipping and something kind of fun and just kind of wrap the week up. But we get to wrap the week up with something fun. I just didn't know the Al Smith dinner was last night. And for those of you that don't know, welcome. This is In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell. Appreciate you hanging out with me. This is, it is, I forget that this happens. And I don't know if it happens annually, but it gets headlines when it happens right before a presidential election. The Al Smith dinner is for all intents and purposes, it is a wide open roast. Doesn't matter who you are. You can bash on anyone you want. You can have a lot of fun. Let's back up to the 2008 election when I was a baby media guy, just getting into the business. What a wild time, right? What's up, Rhonda? Just a wild time. And so it was time for the Al Smith dinner. And this has been, McCain had already dropped out of the race, not dropped out of the race. He had suspended his campaign for the financial crisis and literally ran the worst campaign up until Hillary Clinton and now Kamala Harris. So, but then all of a sudden, the Al Smith dinner comes along. Barack Obama gets up there and he's just, I'm Barack. I'm going to be the president. I'm funny. Go ahead and laugh. That's where it came from. McCain got up there and crushed it. Just knocked it out of the park. The Archer voice. Thanks, buddy. He just crushed it. And everyone was like, where the hell has this John McCain guy been? The entire campaign, who John McCain was at the Al Smith dinner was the John McCain we know here in Arizona. We knew him as a funny, personable dude. Did you want to hang out with? Really kind, good guy until he decided to turn Russian asset with the whole bought and paid for dossier. And there goes his legacy. Again, I can speak poorly of John McCain. I truly can. I can speak even more poorly of his daughter. Sorry, Megan. You are an opportunist, and you were cashing in on your dad and his death, and you're insufferable. John McCain served our nation courageously. He was a war hero, 100%, and for that we thank and love him. About 2/3 of his political career, I didn't like him. Sorry. I don't have to smooch his booty because he was in a POW camp. I'm sorry, I already did. You had the keys to the castle. We have elevated you all the way up to the Republican nominee for president of the United States. We took care of you. We did. We said thank you in a really, really good way. Caitlin Clark is going to play basketball in Europe. I didn't read that. I know the finals are going on right now for the WNBA. I don't know if she's hightailing it and getting the hell out of here, or if she's just kind of doing what most of the WNBA chicks do because they make no money here. So they go play in Europe where people actually watch that sport exhibition. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so they watch that stuff. I did see her nemesis. I even forgot the woman's name. I saw her doing something. She was on like Wildin' Out or something like that, and her butt hanging out of her shorts, and she's just every kind of insufferable. Just she does horrible things for the female black community in our nation. She is not a role model. She's awful. She's making a ton of dough. Angel Reese, thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. What a piece of work that woman is. Oh, yeah. Anyway, what a gift handed to me. I wanted to have some fun at the end of it. We're going to talk about tipping and all that stuff. We are going to have some fun. And if you guys want to keep our conversation going about movies, just bring it. I love you guys. Actually, Dan Ferraro, help me out with this, guys. We can start with that if we want to. Dan, the blind hunter, he sent me a text. He said, hey, Mike, caught the last part of the show. Have you seen the movie, The Mating Habits of the Earthbound Human? He said he laughed his ass off. I'm not. Guess technically he hasn't either because he's blind, but he listened to it. I'm not being mean. He's a friend, and it's funny. Let's go. But yeah, Mating Habits of the Earthbound Human. I guess we can continue that as well. Anyway, here's the deal with the Al Smith dinner. Trump was like, are you kidding me? It's the Al Smith dinner. He was like, I get to go roast everyone to their face, and it's funny. Mating habits of the earthbound human. Grizz said, I'm sorry, James, thank you for that. He says, sounds like something that Kamala was in. Yes, absolutely. Okay, okay. Okay, then Brendan, you and I might, I don't know, maybe it's a Northwest thing, but no, when Harry Met Sally, no, I did not, was not a fan. Meg Ryan is cute as all hell, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't my vibe. I guess it was the character that was just negative, and I wasn't not a huge fan. I just wasn't a huge fan. I'd probably watch it again. I'll see if it stands up. I'll probably check it out. Anyway, my man Trump was all about this because he's like, I get to roast everyone to their face. I get to roast everybody, and he did. Kamala Harris, oh my gosh, so funny at the Al Smith dinner. And by funny at the Al Smith dinner, she didn't show up because she's not funny. She is terrible at delivering anything. She didn't want to be in the same room with everyone that knows she's a complete fraud. And she got tore up. She got destroyed at the Al Smith dinner. Tipping is not a city in China. Well played. All right. An all-time favorite. We'll get to that. Okay, we'll go back to the movies in a minute. Yes. Trump was on fire, James. Absolutely. And he just absolutely roasted Chuck Schumer, who I think is one of the most evil things to ever things. I wouldn't even call him a human. He's one of the most evil things to ever walk the planet. What a sick man. Oh, it's awful. Anyway, Kamala Harris. They gave her a film, this is unprecedented. Historic. Such a historic administration. She didn't show up, so they said, okay, we'll let her do a video. And they produced the video. NBC produced the video. How do we know? Because it's an SNL skit. I am not kidding. This actually made me mad. I'm like, no. That is, seriously, and I'm going to go, Ronnie, help me out with this, because, yes, the Dodgers are doing okay. I'm breathing a little more. That's like the Dodgers not showing up to Citi Field and just saying, we hit a home run that inning. We scored 3 runs that inning. I know we're not there, but we have a video showing us we're hitting home runs now. You see it on the big screen up there. See it? Look at that. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. She's a coward. She is awful. And watch this. This is bad, y'all. And I'm sorry I have to play this, but I'm not going to play all 4 minutes of it because I'm not mean to y'all, except for that. Keep it, Kamala, keep it. No, okay. I'm mean to you sometimes.
And distinguished guests, the Al Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry.
Wow, this is so organic. It's so much fun. Yeah.
Mary Catherine.
And Molly Shannon, you're dead to me.
It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say...
Her speech that I was supposed to be live at, but I'm too much of a coward.
I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
You're not a part of it. You're literally not a part of it. You're just not.
I stick my fingers under my arms, and I simmer them like that.
Oh, it's funny. That's never happened. We've never seen
this.
That's
gross.
So tell me something. I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart...
Literally, they're not even letting Kamala do it. They brought in an actress to do a bit. To do a damn bit for the Al Smith dinner. I'm embarrassed for her, and I hate her. And now I hate Molly Shannon, which is terrible because she's funny. Oh, what happened? Is she going to crack a beer open at the end of this? Ay. Holy. Okay, let's I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I mean, come on, guys.
She must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there...
Oh. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Not streaming on HBO Max. A commercial inside of her crap garbage.
Anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Yeah, I like the Catholic vibe here with the whole abortion thing, but keep going.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
Oh, that's great. Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like
I'm
criticizing
sorry?
Detroit.
Does it bother you that Trump guy insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends and me.
Oh, Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Okay, seriously. This is what they had for the Al Smith dinner. I'm not going to lie. There's 2.5 minutes left of this. And this Rito. This Bezich, I'm telling you, said, oh, I would never insult a Catholic. You ready for this crap? And if you didn't see this was from her rally yesterday. Oh my gosh. Find it, Michael. You can do it. I promise you can do this. Someone yells from the crowd. Hold on. Put the spectacles on here. Hold on a second. Someone yells from the crowd. They say, Jesus is Lord. Okay? Watch this.
With the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v.
Somebody just said Jesus is Lord when she's talking about abortions up there. Somebody said Jesus is Lord. Ready for this? Hey, it wasn't bad, Rhonda. I think it was solid. Okay, but anyway, she said Jesus is Lord. This person yelled Jesus is Lord. You ready for this?
Wade, and they did as he intended.
Jesus is Lord. Again, ready?
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
Wow. Wow.
No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Damn. You know, where they like Jesus and whatnot. This evil Bezach. I can't even. How do you do that? What? Look at him. Dude, you're running for president. Look over and just say, and I understand that, Alfred, I get it. I understand that but hold on a second. I'm going to say it. I would say, I'm going to challenge you on this, Alfred. Because Alfred said this, and I get it. He said Democrats don't like Jesus. And I think Democrat leadership does not. 100% I agree with you. But I think the majority of Democrats in this nation identify as Christian. So how the hell do you pull that off? Why don't you just look to the side and just be like, God bless you, appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. I'm gonna finish my speech of fine about Planned Parenthood right now. I'm blown away. I can't believe she said that. Oh, y'all at the wrong rally because you said Jesus is Lord. During that campaign stop, she brought Rachel Maddow's girlfriend. Rachel Maddow's girlfriend thought because they're not at the Al Smith dinner, they can't cut some laughs out there. They can't have some jokes. They can't have a good time with everybody else. They brought in Rachel Maddow's girlfriend to tell jokes. Did you see this? Rachel Maddow's girlfriend.
You know, in my career, I've learned a lot about business, including how tariffs work.
Literally reading from his phone the jokes. He's reading from his phone the joke that he wrote. Rachel Maddow's girlfriend.
Now, let me just ask you a question. Do you all know anybody who doesn't know how tariffs work?
Yeah, actually, most people do not know how tariffs work. The majority of America, I think, would raise their hand and be like, have no idea. MSNBC just told me I was supposed to say they're bad if Trump did them and good when Kamala Harris and Joe Biden keep them. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll give you a hint. That other guy. Now, he has this crazy notion
This
that
is the
putting
worst.
a tariff of 60%
This is worse than the Molly Shannon stuff. This is worse.
on every single product imported from China is a good idea. Let me just tell you, this man has so little understanding of tariffs, he thinks that China pays for them. This is the same guy who also thought that Mexico would pay for the wall. So there's no Mexico.
Yeah, well, the applause light went on. And he's still
Did
reading.
Mexico pay for that wall? Hell, no, you said it wrong. Hell no.
Oh, God. That might be the cringiest part of the campaign. That might be worse than anything Kamala did. Even that guy, keep it, Kamala, keep it. It might be different. It might be as cringy, if not worse. Yeah. Yeah, the rally down the street where people aren't bussed in, right, Brendan? Exactly. Let's go ahead and remove that guy. We want him gone. I'm removing that entire clip from the studio. I can't. I'm so blown away by the stupidity of that man and what he's become. It's somebody just ripped his genitals and his spine out of him and said, keep going, dude. You're doing great. Wear little tight suits that are green. Yeah, go ahead, dude. You're going to look great. You're doing fantastic. Yeah, and thank you, Truman. Pretty sure the other guy has been a business success and a billionaire quite a bit longer than Maddie's side piece. Here's Madhouse SP. I love that. Yes. And Donald Trump, didn't make it all in one shot like Mark Cuban did. Trump had this successes, failures. Mark Cuban sold, I believe, broadcast.com and then just, okay, I'm a billionaire, right? Yeah, the first billion is the hardest to make, so is Warren Buffett. Let's start with, what do you guys want to start with? You want to start with Jim Gaffigan? Jim Gaffigan was kind of the MC-ish of the evening. And you'll see during this dinner, it is an interesting event. It really is. It's terrifying in so many ways, but it's an interesting event. Yeah, you would think, right, Brett? You would think that Rachel Maddow's girlfriend has a deep voice for a lady, but no, he doesn't. It sounds just like a chick. Let's get to Jim Gaffigan, who absolutely 100% destroyed the Democrat Party. Live. Check it out.
Address you people. Do you prefer, global elite or coastal elite? I mean, I know we live in sensitive times, and I don't want to mislabel anyone. I'm personally excited to be up here, and not just because you make me look young and principled.
Right out of the gates, you old criminals. Wait, Schumer's right next to him. Okay, so Schumer is to the screen right, but he's to his left. That is Schumer, and I believe that's Gaffigan's wife, but that's Schumer to his left. Then Cardinal, what's his name? Cardinal did something wrong with little boy's name. And then it's Donald Trump and Melania. Okay? If you look behind him, okay, you're gonna go, we're gonna count the heads to his left on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Letitia James. That's everybody sitting by each other. I believe Bob Iger's down in the front. Everybody's at this dinner. Kamala got Molly Shannon to do an SNL skit. Anyway, here we go.
This seating arrangement is weird, right? I mean, it looks like the plutocrats are about to play Family Feud. And the survey says, whatever you want. This dais, actually, let's be honest, this entire room is filled with some of the most powerful people in New York City, and Brian Kilmeade.
Ouch.
Remember, Brian, I told you? Brian and I started doing stand-up together, so we're friends. Hopefully. Because this room is, I'm glad you guys have a sense of humor about this, because this room is undeniably impressive. It really is. The prestige, the wealth, the allegations. I mean, wow. And don't feel bad if you don't have any allegations yet, okay? Which reminds me, Letitia James is here. She had a great year. She's just back there watching all of you. She is watching.
love it. Okay. All right. So this Gaffigan and doing a great job. Now, this is probably one of the most uncomfortable moments for Chuck Schumer, except for when Donald Trump's up there. So let's go with Gaffigan. Keep going.
Telling us Trump's reelection.
Okay, this is seriously the biggest takedown of the Democrat Party of the night. You got to see this. Absolutely. A tamer version of Ricky Gervais. I'm down with that. Until here, Rhonda. Rhonda said it's a tamer version of Ricky Gervais. Nope. Because I want you to hear this. Absolutely eviscerates the Democrat Party. Chuck Schumer wipes the smirk right off his face. Wow.
Democrats have been telling us Trump's reelection is a threat to democracy. In fact, they were so concerned of this threat, they staged a coup.
Ooh!
Ousted their democratically elected incumbent and installed Kamala Harris.
Trump, look at Trump over there at right side of the screen. He is bathing in this. He's just loving greatest comedian ever. Greatest. I think he's fantastic. He's 100%. Matter of fact, I'm going to have him at my next party in Mar-a-Lago. Fantastic guy. Schumer's smile has been wiped from his face.
In other words, all her dreams.
Look, people are clapping.
Have come true. Really? It really makes you consider the power of prayer, right, Cardinal? Sometimes prayers take 3.5 years and a George Clooney op-ed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, just roasted him. Somebody go arrest him. He just murdered the DNC. Oh, that's a homicide right there. That is a comedic homicide. Woo! Oh. Okay, Donnie. They let Donald Trump up. Remember, keep it. Kamala just gave a video, and Molly Shannon showed up and saved her butt because she's that bad. Donald Trump, take the stage, my man.
Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't it look glum? It looks glum.
Okay, again, I study body language, y'all. And again, I'm not an expert at body language by any stretch. I just like reading about it and seeing about it. What Donald Trump just did from the dais, from the position of power in the entire room. There's nothing more powerful in the entire room. Every move, every word means something. People standing up, going to the bathroom. Nobody gives a rat's. That is the most important, most position of power. He holds Chuck Schumer's shoulder and starts rubbing his back and mocking him. That's akin to peeing on him. Just, you're mine now, dude. You are mine. So let's go back. Chuck Schumer looking gloom. Chuck Schumer, look, Chucky looking gloom. Look at him rubbing his back. Look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna rub your back. Look at this. And Chuck doesn't even know what to do but get his little crypt keeper hands up there and goes, I'm gloom.
Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't it look glum? It looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president. And I actually said, do you mind if I do that? And he said, no, you got to do what you got to do. He's a pro. He's a professional.
Yeah. The funny thing about that is now Trump did not have to deliver that last part. That last part was kind of stupid. Because he did check with Chuck on before. It's like, hey man, Chuck, look, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna rip you. You good? I'm gonna make a joke about being woke and you identifying as a woman. And is that cool? And then Chuck's like, yeah, cool, go. Because again, most of these politicians get along. They all hate Trump. They all hate him. And it's so funny how much you watch these politicians around Donald Trump. And I have this on good insight. I have this on good authority. Is that when Donald Trump is in the room, they quite literally respect him, and it is deep. They bury it as deep down as they can because they've all loved him. They've all given him awards. They've all given him accolades until he went and screwed their party up. Same as Elon Musk. Same thing. Same as Elon. Elon stole the Democrats. He went and bought the Democrats' favorite toy in Twitter. And that's what it was. And that's what happened. So, yeah. Because it's not one of them. Exactly. By the way, that's the same thing with Joe Biden. Joe Biden was one of them, but he was never an elite. He was never viewed as an elite, and that's why Joe Biden hates the Clintons. That's why Joe Biden hates the Obamas. That's why he hates Kamala Harris, because they let her and Barry O in, And he was like, hey, I've been here all these years running for president, plagiarizing the hell out of it, lying through my teeth. What the hell? Where's my comeuppance? Did I just say comeuppance? Can I get intern Beans? Can you get me a beer? Why am I saying comeuppance? I hate that word or term. What the hell is it? How do you spell comeuppance? Someone help me out. Grez, settle. Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, if you're left leaning, rich elite, that's fine. If you're right leaning and you're going to destroy the country and fill us with misinformation, that's true. Yeah, it's how it goes. All right. Here's the line of the night. I know there were several. Yeah. See here, I'm telling you. All right, here we go. Let's go. This is it. This is El Trumpo at his best.
Called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris. Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not.
Okay, that was an off-script line. I want you to hear it again. Listen to the crowd reaction. Listen to what he says. This is great.
Dudes for Harris. Doesn't sound like it.
Hold on, wait. There we go.
White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris. Doesn't sound like it. But I'm.
He said, white dudes for Harris. White dudes for Harris. Anyone heard of that? And some girl goes, yeah. He goes, well, that doesn't sound like it.
I'm not worried about them at all because
here we go.
Their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people.
Chuck Schumer's so pissed. He knows this
White
funny.
Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris. Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people
is loving it, dude. He's like, it's funny. Even the Cardinals trying not to laugh over there. Oh God, it's the Cardinals trying his best. He's like, oh crap, that's funny. That's some good stuff. Oh. Woo. Oh, what a great night. What a great night. What a wonderful, of course, you're not going to get it on CNN and MSNBC. You're not going to get it. I know somebody got up there and ripped on Donald Trump. The fact that Letitia James is there makes me want to choke. Actually, one of Trump's lines was, hey guys, I know I got to wrap up. We all got to get out of here. This is one of the biggest ballrooms in New York City. And Mayor Eric Adams says he needs to use this for illegal migrants. Nuclear. As my man, Homer Simpson always nuclear. That's right. Cardinals happy to no. No, I took care of that a little earlier, buddy. Yes, the Cardinals happy didn't do any kids jokes. What was it? It was a Robin Williams line. I want to say it was a Robin Williams line back when Robin Williams, well, let's say he was alive. He was talking about the Catholic Church. He's just bashing the Catholic Church. He said Catholic Church is against gay marriage. Catholic Church is against gay whatever. And he said, you know, they come out with this heavy stance against gay marriage, and then here comes the Pope dressed like Liberace, surrounded by a bunch of ultra boys. Too perfect. Oh, yeah. He also said the first time he put a condom on, it looked like a midget in a wetsuit, and I've never been able to. I've never been able to recover from that in my young years to this day. Never been able to recover from that. But the Al Smith dinner was absolutely fantastic. Here is why. We're going to get to tipping in a little bit. But here is why it's hard for people like us, at least I know a few of you. I'm not going to speak for all of you, and I apologize. That look at Donald Trump and you're like, y'all just missing, y'all just believing the narrative. Y'all are just listening to what the mainstream media is telling you and the anti-Trump media is telling you, and you don't understand. The dude's pretty rad. Like, okay, fine. He says things that are completely off the cuff, and he's a self-promoter to the nth degree. He's arrogant as they get, but damn, the dude is a giver. Tyrus had him on. And inside of the fact that Tyrus just thanked him sincerely. Inside, and Tyrus was basically, he was talking about after the Gutfeld show. And Tyrus said, you know, I basically had my preconceived notions about you because I was taught how I should feel about you. He said, and then you spent 20 minutes sitting there chatting it up with my daughter and my wife, talking about horses and hanging out, not just getting up and out of there. You sat down and you hung out for like 20 minutes with a kid. And then he also had this to say. It's pretty rad. Check it out.
Mandela and 80 of his constituents were trying to come to the United States.
Yeah.
The United States government wasn't helping him. No one was helping him.
Nelson Mandela, pretty important figure in life, yeah, in our world history. Nelson Mandela, 80 of constituents wanted to come to the United States. The government, U.S. government said, no, we're not going to help you get in there. Donald Trump sent a jet.
Chartered a 727 plane for their entire trip.
Yeah.
How is somebody, and it's crazy because you can talk about anything, and why is it hard for you to talk about the things you've done? It runs in your family. Your father helped build a synagogue. I mean, why do we not know those things?
It's something that I've never, I love doing it. I don't need praise for it. I don't.
And that's funny. I mean, you would think about that. I give that some thought. When Donald Trump says that we're going to keep going in this. But you think about that. Donald Trump says, you know, and he's a good looking guy and I'm a very good looking guy. Like he's always promoting, you know, everyone says I'm the smartest in the room. It's always self-promoting. But when he does something that would get him elected in a landslide, he's like, that's between me and God. I'm good. And I am a firm believer, and this is why I'm loving on this guy right now, is because I'm a firm believer in that. You know, I hang out with so many people that all they talk about is, oh, I donated this, and I did that, and I gave this to this project, and I saved this animal, and I did all this. It's not what we're called to do. It's not what we're called to do at all. Do it and be done. You know, one of the greatest things, and I don't mean to get, I'm not going to church on you guys here, but I want you to understand some of my core beliefs, and this is one of them. You are called to give. I'm not going to talk about my giving. You are called to give. I hear people say, I don't give because of XYZ. I don't give because this person's going to go do this. I don't give because this organization is going to do this. That's not what you were called to do. I know judgment is my spiritual gift. I know. I'll judge everybody on what they do with the dough. I had to get away from that. Once it leaves your hands, once you've given your time, talent, treasure, whatever it is, what happens after that is not your business. That's between them and God. Period. I mean, I'm not going to go to church on you, but that's what Donald's preaching right here. He's like, why? I don't need to tell anybody about that. I just did it. What happened happened. I don't care when Nelson Mandela was trying to come here. I just know he tried to come here, and he was well intended. I don't know what happened afterwards. That's not on me. I just got him here. I think that's a great example. Yeah. So here we go. Apologize. Buttons. Here we go.
We all like a certain level of praise, but I've never. I just like helping people. I help a lot of people, and I enjoy doing it, and I never talk about it. It's nice that you bring it up. I also think it's not a narrative that the press likes talking about. For me.
But I think it would help a lot of the American people who have been misled, I myself included. Now, listen, I'm voting for you now because of the man you are, not just because of the policies, because not every American will get the opportunity that I had to saw who you were backstage. And that's why I have this list. I mean, I have testimonials. We can't go through all because
I want to see them.
Now, this was, I had to dig deep.
I like that.
You donated $100,000 to raise dogs. You're not even a dog guy. Yeah. Explain that.
Well, that's Lara. So I have the wife of Eric, and she's a terrific person. You know, she's actually now a very big.
Okay, I want to stop this because Daniel, you win. You win, Daniel. Good job, buddy. You are doing God's work, my man. You are doing God's work. I love you, Daniel. Thank you. That's fantastic. I am going to steal that wholesale, my man. It's going to be stolen. Oh, I love that. Fantastic.
An important person in getting elected in the Republican Party. Comes from North Carolina. She loves the dogs. And I did that in her honor, actually. And, you know, if you listen to her, boy, dogs are treated very badly. They're, you know, some evil people having to do even with.
Not Ozzy. Spoiled little
dogs. So I did that for my daughter-in-law, yeah. More so than me. I don't know that much about dogs, but I want to take care of them. And I had an opportunity. You know, as president, you can do a lot of things. I did a lot. The size of the kennels, the size of the cage. You know, there's like cages that they're in. And it's terrible. It's like you have no room, no nothing. And she came in with a whole group of people. These are people that really fight hard for dogs. I mean, you have people that fight. And she's a good person, so I did it for her.
I have hundreds of employees who have said things like, you've paid medical bills, you paid mortgages, rents, you've helped get family members. There's one story in here where a brother came in with a business plan, nobody would hear him. You gave him 10 minutes, you shook his hand, and you cut him a check.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard for you and even your team? I'm a little upset. These are things that I think the American people need to know. And I get it, you're humble because you're a father first.
Yeah.
And a grandfather.
How rad is that? How rad is that? And God bless Tyrus for doing that. Really. I mean, that's, I always talk about him a lot because I love him. I love him dearly. The patriarch of the liberal wing of my tribe. And this is, he gave me this call the other day, and he said he just ran into a guy. He does this kind of mixer thing every Wednesday night and at a bar, and they just all have a great time. Bunch of older guys out there, just shooting it and networking, right? And he said he met a guy whose job was, and it's kind of like a kind of Top Gun-ish kind of vibe. He was a pilot, and he worked for a company that was contracted by the United States Air Force to basically become professionals at Russian air tactics, Korean North Korean air tactics, Chinese air like Iranian, like be one of those pilots and now go up against our guys, train our guys. So rad. But then he said, hey, listen, the guy was in a Trump 45, 47 hat. And he said this, and it's so wild to me. He goes, the guy, the guy was just so well-spoken. We're just having such a fun time talking. He softened me quite a bit on Donald Trump. He goes, he spoke to me instead of argued with me. And I'm like, that's pretty rad. And I think that's the way we should be doing these things, right? Shouldn't we? We should be doing these things. No? Okay. I'm going to go with it. But yes, that's a good, God bless Tyrus. I didn't see that interview. I'm going to watch that whole interview because apparently he talks about like backstage and really who Donald Trump is. And it's just, Donald Trump is one thing, is an entertainer. He's a showman, and he's a self-promoter is what he is. He's a professional. He's a Jedi level self-promoter. And that's been his brand for decades, not the candidate Trump, not President Trump, his brand for decades. Let's get this because this is so much fun to me that I'm blown away. Let's talk about. Well, hold on. Hold on. Wait a second. We got about 20 minutes left, so let me save tipping till the end because I think we're all going to have some fun with that. But I want to see what the heck this is actually more than what is this?
Talking earlier.
Oh,
the price.
It's Elon Musk's brother. Oh, Elon Musk has a brother, and he wears a cowboy hat. Love a cowboy hat, and that cute. But he wears a cowboy hat. Y'all want to hear something crazy? The Musk family's got it going on. The Musk family knows what's up. And if I'm man crushing on Elon, Kimball, what's up, dog? I ain't going. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. Listen to this. This blows me away.
Structure, and then the alternative, SpaceX ended up coming around and offering with cost plus. The alternative to cost plus.
So the military-industrial complex, the reason why it is so, why it has such a bad reputation is...
Do you think he just moved to Austin with Elon and he's like, bro, we got to get cowboy hats. Like, seriously, we got to get cowboy hats. I know you're rocking the MAGA hat now, but dude, we got to get cowboy hats. Can we get cowboy hats? Elon, can we get cowboy hats? No, seriously, we've got to get cowboy hats. Like company cowboy hats. Put an X on them. We got to get cowboy hats. We're in Texas. I like this guy.
The government wants control, and the for-profit companies want cash flow. So they're like, okay, let's all come up with an idea. Well, why don't we just do cost plus? Whatever it costs you, we will give you 10% above that as your cash flow.
And by the way, that's an industry. A lot of industries have that standard. I know some custom home builders are cost plus builders. It costs me $200,000 to build a house. It's going to cost you $225,000. I need $25,000 to pay the bills. Right? Okay. Oh, cowboy hats with a MAGA brand. Oh,
so the natural outcome of that is for Boeing and Lockheed to say, turns out it costs us a lot, like a lot. We need 50,000 people for this launch.
And it takes forever.
Right. Because the longer it takes, the more money they make. And so that, of course, wasn't the intention, but that's just how human nature works. And so SpaceX came along and said, look, we're doing the math on this. This thing's not going to cost that much. It's not going to cost $1 billion. It's going to cost $50 million. And the government would say, but we'll pay you $1 billion. We just want you to do it our way. No, but that's the wrong way.
Yeah.
You should do it this way. That's $50 million. We were very happy with that price. The government was like, no, but we don't want that.
It's like talking to the Musk brothers is like talking to a kid. You know what I mean? Like you tell a kid, like, this is the way we should do something. A kid thinking like a child is really inquisitive and really asking a bunch of questions. And at the end of all, the kid's like, well, then why are you doing it that way? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you doing that? Like I think we should be understanding as parents, because we're basically the government. We're set in our ways. We're cooked. We're baked. And our kids are like, really? You want to do it that way? Yeah. Seek well on nice. Well done. Elon
and
Musk.
We
nice.
actually couldn't believe it. We're like, but you must want it for a lower price.
Perfect.
Actually, they didn't care that much about price.
They want it for a lower price.
Especially the generals. The generals and the military, they really didn't care about price because they really needed it. I had one conversation with the general, it was very enlightening. He was like, I need you to understand, I am a general. I am in charge of success in war. I need it to be the way I need it to be. You need to understand where I'm coming from. I need to control this. And it was enlightening because it's not untrue that if you're a general, you don't want to lose control, but it had gotten so out of hand. In fact, it was Senator McCain who fought for us in government to allow the government to do a different business model. So we have a lot of respect for him, and we spent good time with him. But without someone like him, like a maverick inside a government, to say, hey, there's a different way here, we would still be in this world where you cough in the direction of space and it's $10 billion. As opposed to a SpaceX, we're able to do a launch now twice a week. And it's all cost, it's all, we charge you a price and you pay that price and we deliver. Just like it is.
Government efficiency. I'm blown away by this. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic, but damn. Like I've worked with government contracts before. I remember several government decision makers, contract writers. They said, look, we're the government. We don't run out of money. We just don't run out of money. Yeah. And if you think, and I'm gonna bring this to you here, if you think that it was a conspiracy theory for those that, and I'm trying to just quick wrap up the show so we can get to the tipping part. I was watching an interview with the North Carolina governor, and if you think that the slow play by FEMA wasn't a land grab, that this is not about if the Wyoming, I believe, is Wyoming or Montana, which one's on fire? That has a rare earth mineral where the fire is, and nobody's reporting on the fire because they're letting it burn. They're letting it burn because no one's going to rebuild on that. They're going to use it as a mine. As a mine, excuse me. Did I say mined? Oh, it's Friday, guys. As a mine. I thought conspiracy theory. Really?
We have plans for local governments. In some areas, you just shouldn't build back.
Oh.
And we've been able to convince certain communities and people that buyouts are better, and you create.
That's just so you understand. That's the governor of North Carolina talking about. Don't worry about it. We're telling people not to build back. We're telling people we're going to give them 100,000 acres in Wyoming. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate you. The Wyoming's the same thing. They'll be told, the entire communities that are leveled will be told, we're not building back. It's better to not build back so they can set up mines. There's a better way to do this, y'all. It's called eminent domain. Eminent domain, for those who don't know, the government can say, Mike, I want your house. We're taking it, actually. You have no option. But here is the fair market value. We are giving you a giant check. Okay? So people think that eminent domain is just we can roll in and take your house from you. Technically, yeah, but technically we roll in and buy your house and you can't stop us is what eminent domain is. Nothing speaks inefficiency like paying $1,500 for $1,500 for a hammer. Yes, that's how to funnel all their money through pet projects and things like Skunk Works. I believe absolutely. A buddy of mine's an F-35 pilot. I got to go into their locker room. And I tried to put on the helmet because I have a giant head. So I tried to put on the helmet. It didn't work, but he said it got partially on. He said that's a $350,000 helmet. Now, keep in mind, wherever my buddy looks, he just pulls the trigger, and that's where the missiles and bullets go. So, okay. Kind of worth it. Yeah. Land on Main Street and move over. Actually, let's see what you got here, Grizz. What do you got, bud? They can also take part of your land if you are on a main street to move over and actually build extra road. This is happening to me. Yeah, the easement part of it is kind of crazy. Absolutely. Later in the show, I'll have to watch the replay. Enjoy. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you, bud. Appreciate it, pal. Let's get back to this here. It's a land grab. The government could just say, hey, listen, guys, I mean, before the hurricane, before all of it, just said, we're coming in. We're going to do this. If y'all remember here in Arizona, when they were building the new 202 and even out here, the 303, they're building the 202. They said, we're coming in buying your houses. You can't fight it. And everybody was like, I can't believe you would do that, you sons of. You signed right here, actually 3 disclosures when you bought your house that we will be doing this and we're going right over your house. As a matter of fact, you're in lane 3. It is. It just is the way it is. Okay, let's get to tipping. You can't believe everything that you say. You can't believe, you can't believe everything that you hear. I think this video is a setup, but it does prove a point because it did get me hooked. I was like, what the hell is that? It might be real. I have no idea. You guys tell me.
Can I get my card back? Leave a tip. No, I'm not leaving it. Why would I leave you a tip?
Doctor.
Are you kidding me, sir? Why would I leave you a tip? This is a doctor's office.
Do you not have moral decency?
Moral decency.
What are you talking about? Give me my card.
I'm being for real. I'm saying.
Give me my card.
Sir, if you can't afford a tip, you should not come in. It's as simple as that.
I'm
okay, now
a
I know it's fake,
patient that needed
still.
care, and I paid for the care. Give me my card.
Walk in, and I squeeze you in on the schedule.
Okay, but you didn't tell me there was a fee for that. So give me my card.
Tip, okay,
Look, I'm not going to play this back and forth with you. Give me my card.
Sir, you did not even have insurance, and what my job...
And I paid the fee. I paid for the care.
No.
Tell the setup, right, David?
We actually gave you a deal, okay? We gave you...
I don't... Give me my card.
Sir,
and now it gets like, I'm going to try to pull this up.
You're holding...
Yeah, their patients, doctors would be coming out of the woodwork right here and stopping this. This is a bunch of BS. But it does prove a point. And I think the video is important to prove that point, is that this is just absurd. I need my son, he's in the tip industry. He works at a restaurant. But I know how hard he works. I watch him work hard. So as Rhonda said, tips equal to ensure prompt service. And the kid's on it. He's not even a server. He gets people in and out. He does good work for the company, and he got promoted. And I'm proud of him for that. This whole Prop 138 thing is something that I'd love to dive into over the weekend and really get into what in the hell this is all about. Because now we're going to get government mandating the service industry with tips and what's taxed and what's not taxed. It's absolutely absurd. Yeah, I love that, Grizz. That's right. It might come to that with this Prop 138 thing. If restaurants have to pay up to $2 below minimum wage, which here's I think $10.50 at the time, 10 something, and then they have to ensure that they're making at least $2 over minimum wage with the tips. I'm like, then you raise the minimum wage. I don't understand where this is coming from or going. So I want to get to it. But I am absolutely beside myself every time they flip that screen around, and I'm like, no. And I go pick up, so last night I picked up sushi for Nugent. And I went to pick it up. And so I went to pick it up, and they're like, here, I put my card, I put the pin in, and I'm just like, I don't need a receipt. Thank you. And I started walking out there. No, sir, you have to sign. Yes, I have to sign because it has a little tip line in there. And I did give them a couple bucks because they were actually better than the other sushi places that I was dealing with. Yeah. If I'm at a bar or sit down restaurant, let's go. Boom. Bar or sit down restaurant, I'll tip. That said, I'll get my own beverages and order at the counter. No, I'm not tipping. I know, but Rhonda, what do you do? Do you put no tip or do you put a little line through that thing? What do you do? Yeah. Wyoming, I was a server at a truck stop. The minimum wage for tipped workers was $2.13. That's what I thought it always was. Really what I thought it was always was. Let's go here. Let's go, Mike. What do you got here? They're a young couple ran a Penske and storage business on the corner of Grand and the 303 Loop out in my hood. When they were building the 303 and they were forced out due to eminent domain. Yeah. But here's the deal, though, Mike, is when they signed for their place or their land or whatever it was, they did sign a disclosure that said it's going to happen. Because trust me, even during the downturn and all that, when I was in real estate, we talked about Park 303 as it's the big, I think it's in the Western United States, the largest master planned commercial property there is. So rounding up to the nearest euro in Germany is a huge compliment. Zero obligation. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yes. Okay. Daniel, what you got here, buddy? I have the rule. If I have to stand up to get my food, no tip. Amen. I mean, there are establishments where there are poles involved. If you're not climbing that thing, you're getting nothing. You're getting zero. Anybody can take their clothes off. I mean, you know what I mean. Anyway, so let's get back to this. Sorry. Guys. Yes, you remember that? Oh, so Arrow, yeah, same thing, right? Yeah. So I worked in, Brandon said, I worked in restaurants and bars for almost 20 years. In most cases, I was paid hourly below minimum wage. Never once did I earn enough via tips to even get a check. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oregon tipped employees, made actual minimum wage, worked at truck stops in the state. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways. The states are doing it different ways. And I'm okay with that. If the states want to change things, that's great. But make it, don't say you have to pay them this. And if they don't equal this on every one of the checks, that the restaurant's got to pay them this. That's just, don't confuse the hell out of it. Dos Gringos. Don't give me this Dos. I love Dos. I had this coworker every day. Do you want to go Dos? Do you want to go Dos? Do you want to go Dos? Like, settle down. Had a special at the old Scottsdale Dos Gringos for all local bartenders and servers that they would get a free drink with every zero check. Oh, after taxes, tipping fine. Nice. Like that. Mm-hmm. All right. You don't want me to be Grizz, we know. Especially Griselda. Nope. No, thank you. Every restaurant employee has some leeway on reporting their tips. Oh, yeah, of course. There's some. But now that everything is that the same? Because it used to be cash. But now I think it's the same where it's just you're given, your credit card. Everything is recorded. Hell, I can't even Zelle people without that. Yeah. You think I don't forget Griselda? Dude, you burned an image in our heads that can never go away. Tipping, I think, is I try to be a good tipper, but I do tip my conscience. I'm like, okay, was that service or was that just okay? The dude just was mailing it in. Yeah, out here in the west side at Roadhouse. Check out my kid's the one that has hair that looks like an alpaca. Thank God he didn't know what alpaca was when that slipped out when I said it. I said, dude, you look like an alpaca. Worked in Vegas. I worked under what was negotiated as tip compliance via the culinary union. Oh, crying out loud. Good night, 11. Could you imagine? You have a tip industry and a union. Oh, worked in Vegas. Yeah, we do need to have a happy hour. I need to get to know all you guys' stories. These stories are fantastic. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Guys, it's been a fun week. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out. And you were absolutely let's wrap it up here. Was a set value per hour based on position, filling tips in union-run casinos. No, I'm not shocked. Never mind. Union, mob, same. Okay. Casino, same. All the same. All right. Before I get in trouble and get, whacked, I'm getting out of here. This is another news. Guys, have a great weekend. We're going to do this again at noon right here. Have a great weekend, everybody.